All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about something kind of weird about anxiety. You know that paradox where it feels like the harder you fight it, the tighter it actually squeezes?
I mean, have you ever felt like that? Just completely stuck? Like every single move you make just pulls you deeper and deeper into the muck?
Well, that's the thing about quicksand, isn't it? And it's the perfect way to think about anxiety. Your first instinct, your only instinct, is to fight, to thrash around and claw your way out. But that very struggle, that's what's pulling you under.
It's like you're in this epic tug-of-war, right? Against an opponent you just can't beat. But here's the kicker, the twist in the story. That opponent, it's you. You're actually holding both ends of the rope. Welcome to Smiling Cottage. And the reason I'm sharing this today is because, well, so many of us get caught in this exact trap. We pour every ounce of energy into a fight we literally cannot win, because we're just fighting ourselves.
So, what's going on here? Why does this happen? The first thing you gotta know is this is not a personal failing. It's not about being weak or not having enough willpower. No, it's a system. Think of it like a machine that's running on three super powerful interconnected engines. So, let's pop the hood and see exactly how this thing works. Okay, so here are the three big parts of this whole anxiety machine. We've got the broken radar, that's the thing that hijacks your attention. Then there's the body's false alarm, which just dumps fuel on the fire. And finally, you've got the mind's con artist, that tricky voice in your head that convinces you it's all true. All right, first engine, the broken radar. Now, researchers have a fancy name for this. They call it attentional bias. And get this, a massive meta-analysis back in 2007 basically confirmed that when you're anxious, your brain's security system is just stuck on high alert. It's automatically scanning everything, locking onto any potential threat. It's the reason you can walk into a room full of happy, smiling people, and your eyes will dart right to the one person who looks upset. And the craziest part? Your brain does this all on its own, without you even asking it to.
And this right here, this is the heart of the problem. It flips everything on its head. See, you're not anxious because the world is actually dangerous. No, you see the world as dangerous because you're already anxious. The feeling comes first, and it slaps this filter of danger over everything you see. Okay, let's move on to engine number 2, and you'll see how this whole thing starts to snowball. We're talking about the body's false alarm. Now, when you feel that anxiety bubble up and you decide, nope, I'm gonna fight this, I'm gonna push it down, your brain does something, well, it's kind of ironic. Your amygdala, that's your brain's little threat detector, it can't tell the difference between a tiger chasing you and you fighting with your own feelings. All it knows is, hey, there's a struggle going on, and so it yanks the fire alarm.
So just the act of trying to white-knuckle your way through it triggers a full-blown stress response. A 2002 study by James Gross totally backed this up. Suddenly, your heart is pounding, your palms are all sweaty, and what does your brain do? It looks at all that physical evidence and goes, aha, see, I knew something was wrong. And just like that, you're in this vicious feedback loop. The body's alarm convinces the mind the threat is real, which just makes the body scream even louder. And that brings us to the third engine, which honestly might be the sneakiest of them all, the mind's con artist. The technical term for this is cognitive fusion. It's basically when we get so tangled up in our thoughts that we can't tell the difference between a thought and, actual reality. Like you make one tiny mistake at work and the thought, I'm totally getting fired, pops into your head. It doesn't feel like just a random thought, does it? It feels like you're reading a headline from tomorrow's newspaper. It feels like a cold, hard fact. So here's where it all gets messy. These three engines, they don't take turns. They're all running at the exact same time. Your broken radar is spotting threats everywhere. Your body's false alarm is giving you the physical proof that you're in danger, and then the mind's con artist comes in and glues it all together, stamping it as reality. It's a death spiral, a powerful, self-fueling system that just keeps going and going. But, and this is so important, here's the twist. As complicated and overwhelming as this machine sounds, you don't have to take the whole thing apart piece by piece. There's some really good news hidden in all this, and it's this. You only need to find one exit to shut the whole cycle down. So what is this exit? It's something called cognitive diffusion. And the key idea here is a total game changer. The goal is not to stop your anxious thoughts or get rid of them. The goal is to change your relationship with them. It's about learning to see them for what they are, just thoughts, not orders from headquarters, and definitely not absolute truths. And you know what's wild? How simple this shift can be in practice. Just look at the difference here. On the one hand, you have, I am anxious. That's fusion.
The thought is you. You are the thought. But look at the other side. I am having the thought that I am anxious. Did you feel that? That little bit of distance you just created? Bam! You're not the thought anymore. You're the person noticing the thought. And this isn't just some clever mind trick either. There was this really cool study back in 2004 where they had people take a negative thought, something like, I'm stupid, and just say it out loud over and over for 30 seconds. And you know what happened? After a little bit, the words just started to sound weird. They stopped meaning anything, they just became sounds. The emotional punch was totally gone. That is diffusion in action. It's taking the power away from the thought by realizing it's nothing more than a bunch of words.
So let's be super clear on what the end game is here. Winning this battle isn't about shutting these three engines down for good. I mean, you can't. They're part of our basic human wiring. They're our survival kit. So the goal is definitely not to stop them.
Nope. The goal is to get out of the machine. It's about learning how to take a step back and just notice the engines are running. You can hear them whirring away, but you don't have to get your sleeve caught in the gears. You can just watch your thoughts, feelings, and body sensations spin around without feeling that urgent need to jump in and wrestle them to a stop. So I'm just going to leave you with this one question to think about. Remember that impossible tug-of-war we started with? What if winning that fight has absolutely nothing to do with pulling harder? What if the only real way to win is to just drop the rope? All right, that's a wrap for this episode. If you have any thoughts or suggestions, drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this episode, share it with someone who needs it. This is Smiling Cottage. See you next time.